Good evening, everyone. I'm Kishla Adderley, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Well, just about 20 minutes ago, Prime Minister the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis addressed the nation, giving the latest update on COVID in the Bahamas. He called on his colleagues in the medical profession to come forward to assist in the fight, also saying that he'd offer himself if needs be. The Prime Minister also made several important announcements regarding the proposed rental assistance and groups that will be formed to chart the way forward. Our Altaviz Munnings joins me live in studio with the latest from the Prime Minister's address. Good evening to you, Altaviz.
Good evening, Kishla, and good evening, Bahamas. Prime Minister the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis says the Bahamas will not recover properly from COVID-19 unless we are disciplined in applying the right and necessary measures to restore our country to better health. In his national address that ended earlier this evening, the Prime Minister strongly appealed to his fellow medical doctors in private practice to help the country in the fight against COVID-19. He reminded them that they all took a solemn oath to save and protect human lives. He said as a medical doctor, he will even join in the fight if he has to. Now, the Prime Minister also confirmed 2 additional cases of COVID-19 and had this update on the Ministry of Health's response plan.
The Ministry of Health plans to expand testing this week, and this will result in an increase in the number of cases. Health officials are closely monitoring the case numbers, as this will inform us where we are in the surge. As we get a broader picture of the true extent of COVID-19 in the Bahamas, this data should reflect the case fatality rate is indeed lower. Information from the field is also informing us that some populations are particularly hard hit and have higher mortality rates from COVID-19. Our health team is continuing to compile information on the COVID-19 outbreak in the Bahamas that will help to guide our health strategy, including measures like curfews and lockdowns.
The Prime Minister also spoke on the government's alphabetical supermarket schedule that began on April 6th. He said the alphabetical supermarket schedule has been suspended from April 14th through the 17th and will resume the Monday after. He confirmed that grocery stores in the province will now open between 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. and only seniors and the disabled will be able to shop in grocery stores from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m.
Effective immediately. During the weekend lockdowns, grocery stores will be allowed to operate on Saturdays from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. for essential workers only. The schedule for essential workers is as follows. On Saturdays, from 6 a.m. to 12 noon, health professionals, police and defense force officers, employees of clearing banks, and employees of wholesale distributors will be allowed to shop. From 12 noon to 6 p.m., remaining essential workers, as identified in the emergency orders lockdown order, will have access to food stores. If store owners find that their customers are having difficulty practicing physical distancing while standing in line to enter a store, please consider using a number or ticket system that allows individuals to wait in their vehicles while their number is being called. This system is working well at some establishments, but what works well at some stores may not necessarily work well in others.
Now, Keishla, still talking about food and the supermarket schedule. The Prime Minister encourages Bahamians to design more online delivery and pickup options for food. He also announced the formation of a food supply task force. Now, he also talked about the ban on the importation of non-medical masks, as well as a myriad of other issues in his national address. We want to remind you, though, that the national lockdown ends at 5 a.m. tomorrow, and the 24-hour curfew that was in effect previously will come into effect at 5:01 tomorrow morning. We will report to you more on the Prime Minister's national address in a later newscast. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Altaviz Munnings. Back to you, Keishla.